And we're live. Hello and welcome to HEX Therapy Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin. I've got a great show for you today. This is HEX Therapy Live. I've been doing this every single Thursday night for the past 137 weeks. So thank you so much for being here. Hit the like and subscribe button or get out. Hopefully my connection to the internet is not going to be too bad today. But to start off, let's go live like Maddie ALLin to kick it off.
What's good, Maddie? I had a steak in today. Think I'm gonna throw a party for the Hexicans. You know, it's gonna be live. I want you to come over, call everybody, call ATX and them. Tell them to stop through, man. It's gonna be live today. We're gonna turn up for you, Maddie.
And we're live.
Hey, yo, Trace, you ready?
And we're live.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex,
And
cause you
we're
know it's the best.
live.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. Crypto Twitter been crazy.
All these weekends on my timeline, you should try to pay me.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. Crypto Twitter been crazy.
All these weekends on my timeline, you should try to pay me.
I be around some of the smartest. In crypto we go the hardest. Make sure you protect your seeds. You can always get a new wallet. I be around some of the smartest. In crypto we go the hardest. Make sure you protect your seeds. You can always get a new wallet.
Yeah, I use Timepays me. Yeah, it sounds so easy. Why you trade crypto for? That'll drive me crazy. Yeah, I use Timepays me. Yeah, it sounds so easy. Why you trade crypto for? That'll drive me crazy.
Every time I talk is blockchain. Every time I smoke is octane. Yeah, I got me a post girl, so you know that she got brain. Yeah, I'm somewhere chilling on the island. Had a steak in, so I'm somewhere smiling. Got a hex girl and she always wildin'. And we're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex,
And
cause you
we're
know it's the best.
live.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
We're live like Maddie ALLin. We're live like Maddie ALLin.
And we reppin' the hex,
And
cause you
we're
know it's the best.
live. And we're live.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
And we're live.
And we sticking the hex, cause you know it's the best.
Hey, yo,
And
Trace, you
we're
ready?
live.
All right, trying something new with the long intro. We'll see how it goes. You can leave your comments in the description below. Also, make sure to check out the links that I have. So there's lots of really good news happening in the HEX and Pulse Chain ecosystem. 1 week ago, I was still explaining the launch of Timepays Me, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more today because that is one way that people can save themselves from green candles. That's like the big headline today, is that green candles are exploding all over crypto. And what some people are saying is causing this is basically XRP Ripple, quote unquote, winning their case against the SEC. Now, the Bitcoiners, they're out there saying, if you're not buying Bitcoin, you're in a scam. And they're like ruining basically our ability to detect what's a scam and what's not. I mean, except all of us pretty much know it's a lot more complicated than that. And it's something that we've studied for years and years now in the crypto space. HEX was given free to Bitcoiners. HEX fulfills all of its promises. And HEX is looks like it's going to be at the center of the spotlight during the start of this crypto bull run that may be happening. Not financial advice, but basically, I think Ripple is up like 60 or 70% today. Of course, the ruling, I didn't read it all myself, but I saw snippets of it on Twitter, on the crypto Twitter, and like I said, there were some statements saying, that the judge was indicating this isn't all settled, but in other snippets, it was saying that XRP was not a security in the way that it was offered in these fancy legal terms. So this is not legal advice either, but it definitely made the crypto headlines, and it's something that made it looks like the Bitcoin market surged 2.5 or 3% earlier today. Ethereum was up 5% at one point, and the HEX and Pulse chain ecosystem really was going off. And of course, we know that could be partly due to Hart's law and the fact that that there are liquidity pools that are bonding the prices of all these cryptocurrencies together, whether it's Bitcoin versus Ethereum, Ethereum versus altcoins, so on and so forth. And so I see right now, I'm looking on gopulse.com, and Pulse is up 14.4%, up to 30124. And incentive token is up to $8.1, up 16.4 cents. Pulse X is up 14.4%, up to 40421. And good old HEX, the Pulse chain copy of HEX, up 15.7%, up to basically 2.5 cents. Wow. And I believe that means that the HEX version of HEX must have broken over 1 cent, because it says here that the combined price of HEX and PHEX is 3.71 cents. I know at one point I was looking earlier today, and HEX was up something like 25%. So look, I've already been streaming on my YouTube channel for the past 137 weeks. So we've seen the prior bull market. I started streaming about HEX when it was a third of a penny, I believe. Well, that's when Quant Gang started. So shout out to that. And I don't know, if you're following me on Twitter, you may have seen I posted last night a old YouTube video that I had made congratulating Hexologist, who he's a testament to what this community is, I would say. Hexologist streamed every day, and I want to bring up the tweet that I put up, because it's going to bring back a lot of nostalgia for people who have been around for a long time. So let me share my screen here. Here we go. So this is Hexologist and I at the HEX conference that I hosted. Beautiful picture taken by Pascal, the photographer. And you can see all the pictures of that at hex.photos. It's a website, hex.photos. And breaking news, it looks like Pascal hopefully will be able to come for the meetup/Pulse conference that I'm doing in Austin, Texas, coming up here on the same dates that the Highest of Stakes documentary is being released. And so that's going to be August 4th and 5th. That'll be a Friday and a Saturday night. And so that's going to be really legendary. Pascal came out for the 48-hour live stream that we did from the Bitcoin conference that we called Hexpo Miami. And there were like 70 Hexkins that came out for that. This is going to be a little bit bigger, and I've actually reserved conference space for this one. It might be a bring your own headphones situation, or I might be able to set up some screens, but I've made it as affordable as possible, to the point where if you bought a ticket and you really want your money back, I will refund you. And if you want to go for free, I'm giving away 100 tickets at the Eventbrite page. And all you have to do is go to plsaustin.eventbrite.com or go to plsaustin.com, and it'll guide you through how to get your free ticket for the IRL event. Now, last time I looked, there were like 40 or 50 speakers already signed up, and there might be more by now, to speak at the online event, which will be happening 48 hours around the clock, starting when the conference starts, conference/meetup, which will be, we have the conference room reserved at the Westin in downtown Austin, starting on Friday at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then both nights, there's going to be a screening at the local movie theater of The Highest of Stakes, which is the highly anticipated Richard Hart HEX documentary. We got to see 15 minutes of footage from the documentary. It wasn't leaked, but it was, I was joking around about that on Twitter, but it was put out on YouTube, and along with the new trailer. So this is super exciting to anybody who's been paying attention for the past 2.5 years. And it's gonna be really cool that we're all gonna get to go to the theater together. At least, if all 150 movie tickets that I have, if all those get claimed by people actually showing up to the conference and by getting a ticket to the conference, even though it's free, then everybody will get to see it once. And we'll just trade off nights like Friday or Saturday. But during the 48-hour live stream that's being co-hosted by Tangent in the middle of the night, but there will be lots of speakers at that, and as I mentioned, and we'll be going to any of the 30 cities that The Highest of Stakes is premiering in. We'll be able to go because it's 7 p.m. local time. We'll be able to go when it's 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 7 p.m. Over in the West Coast. We'll be able to see all 4 of those different time zones and have a chance to go live with somebody who's there, maybe who's holding their camera phone up, or maybe the host will set up a camera at the front of the movie theater facing the screen only when it's before the movie or after the movie. And that way we can protect people's privacy, and people can make a small line and like hop on the live stream for 30 seconds and tell the world of Hexicans watching what it is that you're most excited about for The Highest of Stakes, and what your reaction is to the movie afterwards. So I'm super pumped about this. I know a lot of other people are too. There have been tons of people who are supporters who said, yeah, I'm hopping on a plane and I'm going to be there in Austin, Texas. Austin is the most enthusiastic stop that I ever saw in the HEX tour that A-Bit and Patrick put on. There were 220 Hexicans that were fired up to be there last bull market. So I'm really excited for us to recreate that magic, for that to happen again. And anytime you get a HEX or Pulse Chain meetup, it's a blast. So I know that there's a number of people who have already publicly said like, hey, I'm jumping on board. I'm going to be there in person. I know Gary, who goes by Funding Jim, he's going to be there. He's a super networker. You've seen him on Crypto Class's show recently. That was really cool. What else? You've heard Fashion Coder announce that she'll be there. She'll be flying in to the Austin, Texas meetup that we're doing. Gamma DevOps will be there. He's the guru of setting up a validator for Pulse Chain, and the validator himself, David Feeder, also said he would be there. So the list continues to grow of people who are coming and who are excited. So don't delay. If you have a friend in Austin, Texas, let them know that they can go to plsaustin.com and get the information they need to sign up to go to the free conference. And shout out to Toby One Hexobi and Art Morikawa, who have helped to make this possible, to where we're gonna to where the costs are gonna be covered for booking the conference room. Shout out for buying the movie tickets for 150 seats and all that good kind of stuff. So a huge shout out to them. And then also shout out to Brian Magruder and Rochelle Private Equity, who have made even more hats. And I'll be able to give hats to at least probably the first 50 or 100 people who have gotten Eventbrite tickets. So there's actually some new styles now that are being experimented with. So that's pretty exciting for people who are fans of Hex and Pulse Chain merch that you can only get by going to a meetup. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this was super liked by lots of people in the community, and it links to like a YouTube page where I put a bunch of sentimental. Basically, this is a run through of all of the thumbnails that Hexologist made, and you can see like his evolution of like getting better and better at making thumbnails and becoming a thumbnail god, basically. And some really, really entertaining stuff here just in the slideshow that I made 2 years ago. And it documents that Hexologist did a 571 day streak of streaming every single day. It's really impressive to me, really exciting. There's like 85 people watching now, thousands on the replay usually. And so go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Oh, that's Back to the Future. Cool. So shout out to Hexologist. I really admire what he did over those 571 days. And I saw lots. I saw him posting again on Twitter today. So I don't know if that's just because everybody misses him so much or what, but very, very cool. So yeah, this is part of, I guess, the history of the cult, right? And really, instead of thinking of it as a cult, you can think of it as a culture of people that are tired with the old financial system, where you've never had less choices when it comes to lots of things in society. You've never had a worse form of electronic money than you do these days. When it comes to fiat, when it comes to government controlled interest rates and basically crippling the free market. What we have with Hex is a way for people to pay their future selves. And the reason why I titled this stream Saving Yourself from Green Candles actually has to do with this idea that paying your future self is something that a lot of people got experience with Hex, and you got this superpower of being able to hodl. And I know for me, I can speak from my own experience that it is terrifying to me that I will sell too early my Pulse Chain and Hex bags. Well, not my Hex. My Hex is already protected, but specifically my Liquid Pulse and PulseX. Those are the two that I'm most worried about me screwing it up, because I'm out of practice with, like, being able to beat a smart contract at having diamond hands, right? And what's the other thing that should worry you if you're playing a super long-term game? Maybe not taking any profits at the top. That would be worrisome. And so this idea that long-term investors have of dollar cost averaging out of something, if you think that you picked the right thing, in cryptocurrency, the way that you could go wrong by even picking the right thing is by selling too early. And we've seen this with Bitcoin going from a penny all the way to $69,000 per coin. We saw this with Hex going from 0.00005 of a dollar all the way up to 55 cents. And then Hex dropping all the way down, right? Timing trying to time the market is what we're talking about. People can get diluted with, people are bad at doing, and there's a reason on average people are bad at timing the market is because everybody because green candles are the thing that excites everybody into buying, and the candles go higher and higher depending on all the people who sell, and then maybe they buy back higher, all the people who were watching from the sidelines, and now they want to participate. And typically people's emotions of fear and greed are the things that get them into the most trouble in a casino, in the investing world, in the crypto world. And so the fact that now we have a tool called Timepays.me that my team made, and it allows you to send money to your future self beyond HEX. You can do Pulse Chain, you can do PulseX, you can do any ERC or PRC20 token. This allows you to save yourself from yourself, whether you're more likely to diverge from your plan because of green candles or red candles. And the whole idea here is to simply give people the power to program their savings however they want. For me, what that might look like moving forward is me getting to the point where I have 50% of my Pulse and PulseX time locked. Now, for a lot of people, they're going to want to wait. And I commend everybody who's been waiting on Time Pays Me. There's no rush to get started. It's only your own emotions that really would get in the way. But we saw, I took the front end down because I wasn't sure of how the drip was being calculated for people who had immediately started doing 55-year stakes, 55-year time locks, 55-year drips. And the way that we confirmed that the code works is it breaks your lock period. The amount of time that you serve to get your first drip and then get your next drip after that is always 1 out of every 10,000 units of time that you've locked. So if somebody is locking for 55 years, which is the longest you can lock, most people are not going to do that, but some people already have. And so I wanted to make sure it was operating flawlessly, which it is. You have to wait 42.4, or you have to wait 48.4 hours to get your first drip on a 55-year lock, because that's serving 1/10,000th of the time. And there's a 7-day wait period anyway, because there's the technology built in for you to be able to set up a way to undo a hack by setting up your second seed phrase. And so there's a 7-day waiting period on being able to withdraw from a time lock or withdraw from your smart vault anyway. And so so the reason we took the front end down was for an abundance of caution. And then there was 10,000 pulse that was sent out to everybody who on the chain looked like they had used the protocol up until that point in the first 3 days. And so that was a cool flex on how I could use the Pulse chain blockchain and be able to send 298 transactions in what, like, basically in 3 batches, clicking 3 buttons and paying only 66 cents total for all those transactions. There's no way you'd be able to do that with Ethereum. So hopefully my video isn't cutting out too bad. So being able to protect yourself from yourself, being able to protect yourself from green candles, red candles, from fear and greed, that is the idea behind Time Pays Me. And so you guys are going to see me come out more and more to explain the game theory, the Easter eggs, to explain different tutorials on how to do Time Pays Me, because I am going to eat my own dog food. I am going to do some marketing stunts, for example, releasing the seed words to prove that I can undo a hack with a significant amount of money already locked into the vault. and secured with a second seed phrase. So I am extremely excited to be able to do that. And it's because I've been working so hard on planning the second annual Pulse conference online and the meetup in Austin, and taking in all of the excitement that's happening with the documentary. And good to see everybody in the chat right now. I just saw 4 hearts of friendship and kindness come up, which is your friend Sami, of course. He says, very warm hello to you, Maddie. I get messages every week from people who are thankful they're staked. The negative media is too much for most. Super long term is the way to go. And you've seen Sami make videos where he talks about basing your time horizon based on a calendar instead of a price, and basing at least a fraction of your crypto based on a calendar. That's something that helps me sleep better at night. It's something that makes me really excited and bullish for the space. And so if you haven't at least played around on Pulse Chain with Timepays Me, just go to the website, timepays.me, and play around. It costs only a few cents, maybe like 4 cents or something, to create your vault. And then that opens up the options to be able to time lock you can time lock 1,000 Pulse after you throw it in your wallet, which is like 10 cents or something. You can play around with it and get to know how it works, and then see how the drip works and the vault and everything. And I'll do more demos of that over time, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this idea of being able to send Pulse and PulseX to your future self. And people saw me already send $10,000 worth of Pulse a year into the future with one of my wallets. So that's really exciting and cool. And it's already dripping back. It's already been a week. So very cool. And thanks for all the positive comments here too, about myself and Sami, and this excitement of the crypto space seeming to be looking up for a change. This has been the longest bear market in crypto history. And if you're here right now, it means that you probably survived it. And now the trick is going to be to not sell everything on a 1x or a 10x. And trust me, when you see a coin, when you experience yourself doing a 100x, you are going to thank your lucky stars. I hope that that maybe 10% of your stuff is time locked, is dripping back to you over time, or whatever your number is. And I think where I'm starting off with is setting my sights on getting up to 50% time locked, just for the added security of having a vault set up and being able to undo a hack. I mean, that's making me think, at least, because you can lock for a week and then it's not like you're going to miss the bull market. But for me, it really makes me think about, like, how much do I even want to sell on the next double, let's say, on the next double. And then maybe that's all I keep liquid, and the rest is at least locked for a week. That'd be really cool. And we got Toby1 Hexobi in the chat. He's one of our co-hosts on Game Theory Gang every Tuesday night. And this past week we had Alex from Hedron on, and a lot of people were really happy to see me and Alex streaming together along with the entire gang. And so very cool for that to have gone down. And shout out again to Toby1 and Art Morakel for helping me to make it so that the PLS conference in Austin is free to people attending in person. What's up, Ben Dubard? Definitely somebody who is also in the trailer for the Highest of Stakes. Now, Ben was more recognizable than I was in the trailer, because he was saying some smart stuff. Me, I don't know if you guys saw me dancing in the trailer. I was dancing in the trailer, and I'm going to tweet about that later, because it was good. It was really good. So there you go. And you guys already heard my take on the trailer. Like, it was pretty dramatic and dark and like left me feeling anxious about everything. But then when I saw the 15-minute version that I posted on my YouTube channel, that the Highest of Stakes had released, then it made me feel much more interested in the documentary and less negative on the space. And that's the reaction that I got from other people who are kind of new to crypto. I was seeing what their reaction was, and I also got a lot of feedback from the Hex community, people who are in it. So, you heard that right, folks. Art and I pitched in to cover the expense of the conference, says Toby Wan, and 150 movie tickets. Maddie will give the details of when and where that you can pick up your free movie tickets. That's right. So very cool. Ben says he definitely recognized me. Well, there you go. When I was in Las Vegas a month or two ago, I posted a video of myself dancing right after I had finished regrowing my clavicles, which was no small feat, and got a lot of positive feedback on that one too. Brissology in the chat. What is up? Good to see you. Crypto class. Lots of see, this is part of what makes the Hex community so great, is having the greatest number of non-paid crypto streamers, YouTubers. It blew my mind when I was thinking, I heard somebody say just the other day that Hex and Pulse Chain have more independent YouTubers. Maybe that's what we should call ourselves. We have the most independent YouTubers of any crypto, including Bitcoin. That's wild to think about, because the majority of people in the world have not heard about Hex. And when people see the documentary, when people see that the community is still living this story, this documentary is not about something that happened 1,000 years ago or 100 years ago or 10 years ago. This documentary is still living. It's the story of a story that's still continuing, which is really quite profound when you think about, you could have gone to like the early Bitcoin meetups, and they probably weren't even as cool as like the meetups we're having now, this early in Hex and Pulse Chain. So for people who are long-term minded, who are in the habit of sending money to their future selves, and all that, having a long-term mindset is, we think in years when we're talking about buying and selling, not in terms of, days or hours or weeks. I know for me, when I was accumulating Bitcoin, I did that over multiple years. And then still I was only using a portion, a fraction of my crypto money, which was my life savings at that point. I put my entire life savings into Bitcoin. It was at that point, like, I was only willing to risk 10%, 20% for Hex when it first came out. And that's, I think, how everybody was. That you have to dip your toe in the water. You have to get used to something. For me, I didn't time lock my Hex, all of it right away. I did a lot of testing and playing and sending $50, $100 here and there. But I didn't get really serious about it until I started to see the price go up, and I started to see the vision for what this could become. And people always, like, everybody in crypto on crypto Twitter knows that Hex is special, but not everybody has put the pieces together that part of the reason Hex is so special is that we've got a community of people who are time locked. And so when you look at using timepays.me to time lock your Pulse Chain and your PulseX, that's probably what you're going to see, is that there's going to be a really cool community that forms around, being in it together, having that stickiness of basically being able to stick around. Huge pump, says Yellowtail. That's right. Well said. We all dipped toes in to Hex and Pulse. Some people went all in, and congratulations to them. Thanks for talking about this, Maddie. Hey, my pleasure. Let's see, just scrolling through the comments here. Yeah, so pretty exciting news, about the broader crypto space getting more adoption, about, again, the highest of stakes video coming out. There has been too much content for me to keep up with all of a sudden in crypto, and I'm here like listening on 2x. Okay. So that that the engine is revving up. And what I hope to see is so much content that I can't keep up with that's steering people in the right direction. That's not feeding people to the meat grinder of pump and dumps, of leveraged exchanges, of centralized middlemen, all that kind of stuff. And, this is true DeFi. This is, this is being on the cutting edge of something when you're on a chain that's only 60 or 70 days old and you're with a bunch of people who discovered Uniswap when it started. Now decentralized exchanges have overtaken the trading volume of centralized exchanges. And we were there so early, we got a free airdrop from Uniswap, right? There's a lot of exciting stuff that's coming. And it includes, I think, you all doing what you're doing to make sure that we stay the most informed and the best community in crypto. So that means like going on live streams. It means hitting the like and the share button. It means protecting yourself by getting a hardware wallet. I've got my Trezor link in the description below. It's really helpful to me when you use that. And there have been I think there have been like 200 or 300 people who have used that link and bought a $60 Trezor because they already have the right amount of crypto to where they need to have that extra protection. And that's what makes sense to a lot of people who are even maybe putting $1,000 into crypto. I always like go back to thinking about the time when I first invested in Ethereum was like $20 and I forgot about it. So if somebody's being that casual, it maybe makes sense for them to be using Timepays me on Pulse Chain and then to be waiting until they're to the point where they have enough that a $60 purchase makes sense for a hardware wallet. But you don't pay any more from using my link. So I'm proud to like shill it. That you're supporting the channel, you're incentivizing me to like share what I use. And I've got, a pile of Trezors that I use for various things. And I don't think that there's another crypto community who takes security this serious. And I hope that we become the type of leaders that can onboard other people into cheaper fees, into better security, into showing your face in crypto, into time locking and proving that you're going to be around for the long term. I mean, and that we can have fun with it. I think that the documentary, it shows kind of a hint of cringe, a hint of like anxiety, like what if it's not going to work out, or what if the scam investigator like thinks it's a scam. There's all this like language that's used in there to rile up your emotions, like when the crypto professor says it sounds like a Ponzi, but the way like the music and like if you go back, it's he's not actually saying that it's a Ponzi, but if you weren't listening carefully, you might think that he was saying it was a Ponzi. And so HEX is not a Ponzi, it's not a pyramid. It is truthfully, it's a truth engine for crypto. It's whereas everybody else is sending their money to middlemen, and that's not the point of crypto. FTX, Celsius, these huge things that have blown up in crypto, whereas people are day trading, pump and dumping, they're using leveraged exchanges, they're trading and pretending like they can time the market instead of spending time in the market. The, those are all things that can lead people to have a different understanding of what crypto is. And if the Hex and Pulse chain ecosystem and if us as a group of decentralized YouTubers can educate people as to what true crypto is, what true DeFi, decentralized finance is, that's going to be a huge win for, anybody who cares about the tech. It's a joke that people don't care about the tech; they just want to get rich. But I believe that people are going to care about the tech eventually, whether it's their freedoms and rights getting taken away, their freedom to transact, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, any of these things. And it's great when you can see massive price appreciation, but it's boring to wait. It's painful to wait. And like the best hexagons, from what I've seen, are the ones who are volunteering to stand up, to not get paid, to stick around and spend years like just developing a good ethos of, don't promote scams. Basically, that's like a big deal. Something that the majority of crypto YouTube never figured out, and you'll see again in the next bull market, where, I mean, you could see it constantly in the bear market, the bull market, whatever. You can see these different influencers come in and out, and I have more respect for Bitcoiners who bury their heads in the sand than I do for people who shill things that are rug pulls, are meant to be pump and dumps, that sort of thing. Like, wholesome things is what I care about, right? And so the other thing I was going to say is that I think for a lot of people, they're not sure how they can get started with teaching other people, onboarding, with like standing up for what they believe in, teaching people the power of like being able to hold something for a long time, to be able to program your money as a savings account. In a lot of countries, the inflation is so bad that sounds like a scam right there, of just holding your government currency for a number of years is like, that would be the same as like burning money. But crypto is something where you have wild volatility, but but not all of the things that you can buy go to zero or go down as much as the dollar does, so steady. Now, the dollar is great if you want to have a stable store of value in the short term, and people use stable coins for just that. But at the end of the day, I think people who are the most interested in speculating, but still having a long-term mindset and wanting to see what can stand the test of time. Bitcoin stood the test of time. Ethereum stood the test of time. And the question of whether HEX and Pulse Chain will be able to do this is, it's up to us, the people who are interested in it, the people who hold it. It's up to us to set the example. It's up to us to be able to use the truth engine of crypto, right? Because the truth engine of HEX is, I'm time locked, so I can't scam myself. I can't dump on my audience the coins that I've locked, because the smart contract won't allow me to do that. And that's like being able to practice what you preach is a big deal. And so that truth engine carries over into Timepays Me. And that's something that I want everybody to, give it a try if you can. If you take 10,000 pulse, you can do a lot of clicks. You can do a drip. You can practice. You can go through the tutorial that I put on Twitter and in the description below, and see what it's all about. And as I said, I'll be releasing more and more tutorials and my own experiences, and eating my own dog food is something I'm looking forward to. What's up, Melv Tony, Hex Addict, Tex Hex? Thank you for all you do for our community. You rock. Hey, my pleasure. Johnny Chaos, what's going on? Happy green candles, Maddie. One for the algo. That's right. Yeah. Don't always use clickbait, but when I get inspired by a hexologist, I guess, here we go. What's up, Anita? Sparky? Hex Farmer? Toby One? OBX S Reaper? More and more people, more and more Diamond Hand people coming together. That's right. Maddie, I think today is one of the most iconic days in crypto, and you've streamed on this day. It'll last a lifetime. Hey, I'm glad you think that today's a big day in crypto. I think while I think that the XRP Ripple news, that the market's pumping, it's all looking upward, it's looking up. And as I described earlier, for me, I'm like, okay, this is getting real. I have all these liquid bags of Pulse Chain and PulseX. I need to get more serious with Timepays me. I need to get more serious with what's my time locking plan. Because once you time lock, it's going to drip back to you over that period of time. But you're locked. So, people could get themselves into an overlocking situation. And that's what you take your own responsibility for. I'm not telling you to lock any percentage that I know is going to be right for you. Toby once said that I could have been his +1 at the premiere as his fiance couldn't make it, but I sacrificed that experience and put blood and sweat and tears into the conference. That's right. Yeah, I couldn't find a flight that would get me from the premiere in Miami, where Toby One had graciously invited me to be able to start up the conference that I have planned in Austin. So I'm just going to go straight to Austin and stay there. And hopefully Toby One will be able to find somebody else who will be able to bring a positive spotlight to Pulse Chain. Hexagon 720, what's going on? Another Hexagon I've met in real life. Ben says, glad you're healed. Yeah, me too. Stem cells for the win. Matt Phoenix, what's up? Lies beneath the truth. Hex price is back, says Helga. Robert Online, hello. Hex Bula. I have to go to sleep, unfortunately. Love you guys and what you do for our community. Thanks, Maddie. Like the video. Get out, by the way. That's right. Pulse Hexing, BMA, Hexagon Lost in Asia, Detached Soul, Sparky. I missed Jerry. Hopefully the next bull will make it so traveling to Hex conferences is a possibility. Long way from Maine. That's right. Hope so too. What's up, Pulse Lord? Good to see you there. Thanks for all you do, providing such great detail for folks at the upcoming Austin, Texas. Yep, my pleasure. The Hex community doesn't like me anymore. Oh, I don't think so. I hope not. Melftoni says EHEX is 1.16 cents and PHEX is 2.58 cents. Wow, that's what's up. And then Pulse is 0.00012 49, and then PulseX is 40423. Beautiful. So looks like we're about half an hour away from when the highest of stakes is going to go live with Rags to Riches. Now, that reminds me, Brandon from Rags to Riches, bless his soul, made a newsletter post today about Timepays me. So let me pull that up real quick and drop the link for that. So Brandon's Rags to Riches, you all know him. He's spoken before at the Hex conferences and whatnot. He has a newsletter called Dollar Riot. And so it's the word dollar and then the word riot brandonharris.com is where you can go to sign up for his newsletter. I hope you will. And as we can see here on my screen, the post that he did just today has to do with Time Pays Me. And so for those of you that like to read, what's the theory behind this? What's the point? What are some of the details? Brandon has documented that here. He's written a really nice article and even made a diagram here that helps to explain visually what's going on with Time Pays Me, what the different kind of ideas are behind it. So go ahead and check this out. It's the article is at dollarriot.com/p/timepaysme. I'll put a link directly to the article there too, and sign up for his newsletter. It seems like it'll be filled with some good stuff. Of course, I want to say one more time, if you know anybody in Austin, Texas, or in Texas at all, make sure to have them go to my website so they can get a free ticket to the Pulse conference and to the Highest of Stakes documentary with help from Toby Wan and Art Morikawa. And it's plsaustin.com for that. Cool. So hopefully that'll be good for everybody. As I said, so Brandon from Rags to Riches is going to be interviewing the Highest of Stakes directors, I believe, tonight. And that's going to be starting in just about half an hour. So let me see if I can find the link to that. Great videos recently by Sami. As always, great videos from Crypto 7 and Tangent. I've been tuning into Crypto Class. She interviewed Funding Jim and Dollar Cost Crypto. She's got one coming up on Monday morning here in the States that I'm going to be on. So I'll be looking forward to that. I think she's got her gang of ladies that's going to be on, and then have a gang of guys that'll be on as well. So that'll be should be some other big names that you guys will be excited to see. Let me see, what else have I been watching on YouTube? A little bit of Bitcoin stuff. Oh, Ben Cage is active again. He streamed with Westcott Crypto and ATX Crypto. And so that's one to definitely check out. I really like hearing from Ben Cage. The stream earlier today from Crypto 7 and Tangent was like a must. So check that out. Crypto Coffee, he posted one that he had done a long time ago, or like 6 months ago, and he was right about everything. Of course, Randy Hilarski streamed recently. Dollar Cost is also, he's doing a Vegas meetup for his Cultivate Crypto group. That'll also be going to the Highest of Stakes. They're doing their event Saturday and Sunday. Tom Gillespie did an interview with Johnny Chaos, and it's one of my favorite Johnny Chaos interviews ever because he breaks down the ethos of HEX so well. So well. That's definitely a must watch. The YouTube channel is called Hexicans and the Time Value of Money. Hex Late Show, shout out to you. Hex Token was streaming earlier. I caught that. A Fashion Coder streamed. Ben Cage streamed from his channel. DeFi Down Under is the new channel for these Australian guys, including Tangent. Big Pep streamed recently to talk about things. It's been lots of content to keep up with. Lots of content, which is good. That's a good sign. So means people are excited. Means people are ready to be impressed with the green candles. My My son was a good sport, says Jaffis, and dressed up like a Barnsley boy for a highest of stakes meme I posted on Twitter. That's great. Brother of Chaos is here. Hey, shout out to you. He said, I'm here, but I'm late. Welcome. Thanks for being here. That's awesome on the stem cells. Thanks, Maddie. Always good to see you. My pleasure. Yeah, I'm thrilled. And I found out about the stem cells because of a Hexakin who had been following me on YouTube and reached out. So thanks to him as well. Do we need to keep our vault address? Yes. Keep that in a notepad document. Never keep your seed phrase words in a digital WordPad document. But the vault address is one. Go ahead and do the tutorial that I've linked on my Twitter below. That's like a 3-minute tutorial, I think. And you can see, you know, that one doesn't have copying the addresses. You have to go to my longer stream where you couldn't see the screen very well. So the best, no, actually, okay, the tutorial does. The tutorial, there were 2 on Twitter. I did one that was a video and one that was a thread. So if you go to the thread, that's where you're going to see where I told you all of the steps where you record your vault address. And other than that, what else that you need to keep track of? Maddie, why 55-year locking in your project? Can't think of a good sound reason to lock for that long with the technological progress humanity is making. I wanted the timeline to be long enough so that people could show how much they believe in something, whether they're sacrificing their money or expecting that it'll drip back. Basically, like, there's different extremes of what people believe, and I didn't want to lock anybody out of being able to do a long enough timeline for themselves. So what I did is I started by thinking about somebody who's 21 years old, who's like considered a legal adult in most states, at least in the United States. And I was also thinking about, like, how long is that person going to live? And the answer is 55 years gets you to like the average age of somebody currently. Now, while I hope the average age increases in, like, you know, lifespan and everything, and I actively like donate to that, 55 years is what I was thinking of, like the person who's young enough and wants to believe the maximum. And but to not have them have to give it all to the next generation, basically. So 55 years is something that just kind of came out also of like the 55 max in HEX, which is how many days you can stake is 15.2 years. But I wanted it to be like on par with, like, people do 30-year savings bonds and stuff. This is 55 years. It's not right for most people. I put $100 of Paul's 55 years out once I saw somebody else doing it, and that was Kincaid Honey, who's like 20 years old. He believes in longevity technology. He believes in Pulse and HEX, and he's an RH maximalist and really enthusiastic about Timepays Me. And so there are already people who have found that that's right for them for a certain percentage of their funds. And so, look, I think 55 years, I think that that's going to be a little bit outrageous to a lot of people. And that might actually drive some conversation about what's right for you. And I hope that you find what's right for you. But I think that's like an attention grabber. It's like, what? You locked $1 of anything? Like, insert a random meme coin. Like, you locked $1 of that for 55 years. I mean, that probably gets more people's attention than just saying you bought $1 worth, or that you like burnt $1 worth or something like that. What are your thoughts on becoming a validator? Is it worth it? It depends, like, how much technical expertise you have, and it depends whether you like earning 10% APY in Pulse, that's paid in Pulse terms. You can earn 10% by locking HEX, but maybe you're more bullish on the price of Pulse going forward, you know? Or maybe you don't want to sell your Pulse because you want to have some of that too, because you want to transact on the network. You know, so 10% is pretty sweet if Pulse is what you want to hold. It's better than 0%. I used to work at a bone marrow transplant unit and was close to opening a private cord blood stem cell bank about 20 years ago. It's good science. Glad to see you're well. Thank you. Yeah. Where can we see the highest of stakes if it's nowhere nearby? Well, they added another 5 or 10 theaters today. If you can't see it, then you're going to have to wait to see if they get a good deal with Netflix or Apple or anything like that. Is there a link to movie release interview this evening? Yeah, let me try to find that. This is awesome. Go stem cells. Yeah. Oh, they are live now. So I guess they went live early. So I'm going to send the audience over to watch this live stream with the highest of stakes. It looks like they went live about 30 minutes ago. Toby was talking about his time. He was talking about 9 o'clock Eastern, not 9 o'clock Central. I would have switched over earlier for that if I had known. But thanks for everybody for sticking around. You all rock. And I just dropped the link to the live stream of Rags to Riches. So go let them know that Maddie's stream is raiding them. Announce the raid in the live comments and go jump into the conversation there. Thanks for tuning in. I stream every Tuesday and Thursday on this channel at the same time. So until next time, stake wisely, my friends, and peace out.
It's from Maddie ALLin of Hex Therapy Live. I like Maddie. Maddie tries to make the world a healthier place. He's a mental health professional. He's done research, big videos on sudden wealth syndrome. There's nothing that a human being can do better than try and heal his fellow man. Maddie ALLin's got that covered. He does emotional, feel-good, mind management, emotion stuff like as his gig because he's a therapist. That's what he does for a living. Like he helps heal people.